What is up, all my hope healers and hope dealers? Welcome to my YouTube channel, my PhD, my prison history diploma. My name's Kim. I did 10 years and 8 months in Florida Department of Corrections, and I've been out for over 15 years now. Woo woo, raise a roof on that one. So I wanted to do this video today, and I want to dedicate this particular video to Florence Crail and Christine Elmore. They were two women that took their lives during my time of my incarceration. It was in 1998 at Jefferson Correctional Institution. But I wanted to tell you guys the story, the rumors about what was going on with Florence Crail. I think it's important for the public to know this story. So Florence Crail, you can look her up on Google. Her first name is spelled exactly how it sounds. Her last name is spelled K as in kilo, R-E-L-L, Florence Crail. In 1998, she took her life in solitary confinement. So a quick background story. We all knew of Florence Crail on the compound, on the yard. Most of us had never met her because she pretty much went into solitary confinement as soon as she hit Jefferson Correctional Institution compound. From our understanding, she had a smart mouth. She did not take the guards' bullshit, and she would spit it right back at them, not physically spit, but verbally say things like, you know, F you. She was very open and assertive with her words, I guess you would say, and they got to punish her by putting her into solitary confinement. However, the torture became something that was out of control in there. So not only did they put her in solitary confinement, but from our understanding, what we would hear on the compound is Florence would cuss them out on a daily. She wasn't taking their shit. She only had 18 months, y'all. She had 18 months for, I believe it was Grand Theft Auto. And so she had a short amount of time. 18 months is not that long, y'all. And especially for somebody to hang themselves. So they put her in solitary confinement. She's mouthing off to the officers. So one particular incident that we heard about the day before she hung herself was they put her on suicide watch, which meant that they could take her clothes from her. She cussed them out for her being naked. So they ended up bringing in male staff. She freaked out. She was absolutely humiliated. From our understanding, what we heard on the compound is she went under her bed to hide, and the officers pulled her out from underneath her bed by her ankles. There was bruising on her ankles. And they pepper sprayed her and then shut off her water and denied her food. I want that to sink in for a minute. So the people that had the power to just ignore her words took it a step further, took away her clothes, took away her humility, and made sure to humiliate her, took away her water, and took away her right to eat food, and used pepper spray to torment her. Now, the lieutenant's name that was over this, I'm going to tell y'all, his name was Lieutenant Palazzoli. It's spelled P-A-L-A-Z-Z-O. They did get investigated. From my understanding, nobody got arrested for the torment and torture that she was put through. Now, I took some notes because there were some things that I did not remember, but I do remember hearing that she wrote letters to her judge, her sentencing judge. I did find online that to be true. I remember those rumors. She wrote desperate letters to her sentencing judge, Robert Carney. They were confiscated actually by the guards. The guards said that they confiscated them because she did not write legal mail on them. And on those letters, she was asking and pleading for mercy to help her get these guards off of her and stop tormenting her. The head of our psych department was a man by the name of David Schwimmer. He did not have valid credentials to practice psychology. He actually had a mail-in, not valid credential to run the psych department. He ended up getting fired and nothing happened to him when these two women hung themselves, minus the fact that he lost his job. So, you know, I mean, there was a lot of abuse. Jefferson Correctional Institution was one of the most abusive prisons that I was in. There was a lot of male officers that liked to physically harm the female women. The Florida Department of Corrections system absolutely knew and investigated a million times over, and usually it was not in our favor what they would find out during their investigation. I live there, I know the truth. I watched it happen and unfold in front of me. I did not see Florence Quayle, but we all knew about it on the compound. It was a big rumor. Now, in hindsight, we didn't know what to do to help her. We didn't even know who to go to, because of course we weren't down in solitary confinement. So what better way for them to get away with torturing this poor woman than having her in solitary confinement so there were no witnesses? You know, and I mean, those are some facts that people have a tendency to ignore. You're putting humans over humans, and you're trusting these people to do the right thing with people that are already in vulnerable positions. So, you know, my hope healers and hope dealers, I'm making this video today and I'm pleading with you guys right now that united we stand, divided we fall. So, you know, we should have stuck together more when we were hearing those rumors about Florence Quayle, and we should have caused a lot more noise about that situation. Now, they ended up closing that prison down for women and actually putting the men in that prison. So that was their way of putting a Band-Aid over the abuse. It had the same officers. They just took the women and put them at Dade Correctional Institution and took the men from Dade Correctional and brought them to Jefferson CI. Y'all can look it up. That was their way of fixing it. So let me tell you guys something. You know, I mean, we hear rumors about, you know, the abuse of police, the abuse that goes on in prison. I'm here to tell you that there's a lot of truth behind that, a lot of truth. And if you have somebody, the investigators, the inspectors, the investigators that are in the prisons to do I guess be like referees between the inmates, you know, to be that sounding board, almost be like Switzerland. They're neutral. They're not neutral. They're never going to side with the inmates. And let me tell y'all something, this abuse is happening today, right now. Look it up on Google. I'm finding article after article after article, and it needs to end somewhere. And just because somebody's incarcerated does not mean that they give away their right to not be treated as a human. We are humans. And look at me today, y'all. I'm a hope healer and a hope dealer, and I'm putting this message out there because we need to stand up for people that can't stand up for themselves. We need to give a voice to the voiceless. So I'm counting on every person watching this video right now. Be a voice. Put it out there. Let people know that the prison system, there needs to be some changes. And if you hear of something going on, and if you're incarcerated right now, feel free to drop a comment below. Write me. You can send me an email, Kimmy, Kimmy, livefree@gmail.com, and I'll do everything I can to help that abuse cease and desist, because people do not deserve that. To all my hope healers and hope dealers, I love every single person. Thank you so much. And I'll be making more videos soon. I know y'all, I've been super busy learning about, where I'm living. I mean, I'm finding new beaches every day, and I know I'll get settled in eventually and I'll be more consistent. So thank you so much, everybody, for your patience. I love y'all. Have a great evening.